Woohoo! We are here tonight because I've had a couple questions about how to graph using line graphs and WebAssign without throwing bricks at your computer. So let's hope that we can solve this, because throwing bricks at your computer is expensive and, a lot to have to clean up. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pretend that you can't see the correct answer here. This is actually the correct answer. This is the teacher's view. But I'm going to go ahead, and we've got the inequality G minus 27 is greater than or equal to negative 25. And the steps you would take would be to add 27 to both sides. And then I would get G is greater than or equal to 2. And you'll notice that here it says write the solution set in interval notation. So interval notation is this notation that involves either brackets or parentheses. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to use the bracket on my keyboard because I find that easiest. On my keyboard, it's over near the P. And then I'm going to type in 2 and then a comma. This is all done with the keyboard. And then to get infinity, because this is going to be G is greater than or equal to 2, so to go on forever and ever and ever to the right, I go into symbols right here. And inside symbols, I'll see I've got all the interesting stuff like pi and theta and I and degrees. And I think this means undefined. I'm not sure. I haven't played with that one, but I'm going to click on the infinity. And you'll notice that it very helpfully finishes this with a bracket. And I'm going to say, no, silly rabbit. Brackets are for real numbers. Infinity is a concept. And so we end this interval with a parenthesis, not with the bracket. Okay, so that's the first part done. Woohoo! See how that matches there? Yay! Next thing is, how the heck do we graph this? And the answer is, you've got lots of choices. Here, you've got a lot of buttons, all of which have been designed to annoy you and make you frustrated. And again, I encourage you, when you're doing your math homework, try not to have any stacks of bricks nearby, because again, I don't know about you, but I can't afford a second computer right now. So I'm going to look up here, and I see that this is a greater than or equal to, it includes 2. And so I've got two options. Either I can use the bracket, which I can put there at the 2. So you move it there exactly. I think you can get away with a little bit of wiggling, not sure. And then I'm going to click on this that says draw, and just click on the part of the graph that I want to include. And this would be the answer that I submit. Because I'm the professor, I can't submit this. So I can't show you that process. I apologize. However, let's pretend I'm like, oh, no, this is wrong. Right here, there is an eraser. So if you click on the eraser, and sometimes you have to double click, it will actually take these things out. So you could type in something else if you made a mistake. There is a second way to draw this graph. This is not one that we go over in this class, but it is something that you may have learned somewhere else, when you did math and learned it on the street or something, or a friend told you about it. This is a closed circle that can also be used. It has the same meaning as the bracket. And again, you may need to wiggle this around a bit to get it right on the 2. And then that's not sufficient. This is a single point. So what I need to do is click on this draw, and then click on the part of the graph I want to be colored in. So this says starts at 2 and keeps going. And again, if you decide, no, you know what, I don't want to do the dot, I want to go ahead and do the bracket. I'm going to go ahead and do the bracket again. I go over to draw, click on the portion of the graph I want to highlight, and there you go. And if I were able to submit, I would submit. But for this one, we're just going to have to pretend that it was accepted, and woohoo. And if you do have any other questions, please let me know. The intention is not to frustrate you. The intention is to try to have a tool that will allow you to do your homework and get instantaneous feedback rather than having to, send your homework to me via carrier pigeon and then wait for me to grade it all by hand, which would probably take 3 centuries at this point. So hopefully that helps. Woohoo, math on. Have a great evening. Technically, it's very early in the morning, but we'll pretend that I'm keeping to a good sleep schedule. Eat vegetables, get some exercise, and remember, don't stay up late doing math. Woohoo!